Yeah, water bottle.
Oh my god. Why do you have 4 half-filled water bottles?
Because
But finish one.
just getting my notes.
You took notes on the episode?
Yeah, I come prepared.
I was a little drunk.
A little drunk? You literally called me up. Yo, you have HBO Go?
I didn't call. I texted you.
You called me.
Oh yeah, I did call you.
Yeah, you called me.
I was watching the Islander game before.
All right, so season 6, episode 1, The Red Woman. First, before we analyze it, what did you think? Yay, nay, good, bad?
It was good. It wasn't anything crazy, but I don't know.
I felt like it was an episode that they were trying to establish where these individual characters were at this point in time. Like, there was no real central focus on one character.
Yeah, there wasn't. I think I couldn't even tell who got the most play. Probably the Wall, but that wasn't even that long.
Let's get right to that big reveal at the end. Now, I originally thought that this episode called The Red Woman was going to be about the new Red Woman in Essos, in Meereen.
Yeah, it just shows how good at predictions you are.
Not great at predictions.
Not the best.
It wasn't, obviously. It was about Melisandre, and that she is secretly this 400-year-old witch. Like, the whole time that she is just... Everybody's perception of her as this young, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But really, one of her greatest assets was her sexuality. This is how she was able to, like, pull people into this fictitious world that she would create.
Now, looking back, does she always had that necklace on when you seen her?
A lot of people have been pointing out that there's a continuity error where she's in the bath when she's talking to Stannis' wife.
Yeah.
Remember that scene? She does not have the necklace on.
Okay.
Somebody said that possibly that the necklace can work when it's not on, that it almost has like an after effect, like it hasn't worn off yet. Now
maybe she can't stay that long in her as Melisandre. Maybe like
it weakens her.
Yeah, so she takes it off and just like it's like taking off your shoes after a long day. It's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Just let me sag a little.
Well, she sleeps naked. I mean, she's risky. I mean, if somebody walks in on her like, "Hey, Melisandre, what?"
Probably has a lock. Maybe.
Well, Gendry was hitting that.
Yeah.
And so was Stannis.
Yeah.
See, Jon Snow knew something. He was like, I don't know. Too good to be
still
true.
Would.
Oh, when she's in Melisandre, regular
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, 100%.
If she's Granny, she could be Granny.
The only thing that would be bad is if, like, the necklace snapped off in the middle. It's like, But people were saying that possibly that could be a way that they resurrect Jon Snow through the power of the necklace. That maybe it gives, like, that it maybe regenerates life.
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of... I wasn't expecting it, but they kind of just threw it out there, so...
Right. Well, they say they hint at it in the books, that she's possibly a 400-year-old witch, almost.
She has, like, she can, like, glamour, like... I know in the books, like, she, like, made, Mance Rayder look like somebody else.
Okay.
So she can, like, change appearances.
So it's almost like the power of the many-faced assassins, in a way.
It's more than just a face. It's just a whole... I guess, in a way.
It's a whole body.
Yeah, she can, like, manipulate how people see people, I guess.
Now, if she's 400 years old, that means that she's been through the whole Targaryen reign.
She probably wasn't in Westeros.
Maybe she wasn't in Westeros, but at some point during that whole 400 years, she might have, she's had to have witnessed countless wars, civil wars. So this is like a way that she can really tell that Jon Snow is the prince that was promised.
Yeah, because she really fucked up on Stannis. Nowhere close. She whiffed pretty bad.
That was a Ruben Natal prediction.
Yeah, she's like,
this is our guy. This is our guy. No, but it's obviously not Stannis. And she says that she saw Jon Snow fighting in the flames.
Yeah.
Davos is like, I don't care what the fuck you saw. He's pretty dead.
No, definitely dead.
And Jon Direwolf was looking fucking brolic. Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost is the man.
Hitting the fucking weight.
I felt bad. I felt worse for Ghost.
Yeah, when he was howling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the Night's Watch, like, a pointer for them is, like, if you're going to perform a coup d'etat on your Lord Commander, maybe not leave his dead body in the middle of the snow. Like, what are they just all like, okay, let's go inside?
Well, I don't think he cared about being caught. He told everyone he did it, I guess. But I just don't get, like, why they want his body. Like, why are they trying to break him to get the body?
It was kind of convenient for the plot, almost. It's like Davos knows that he could be resurrected, but he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, all those characters should know that.
Because they're going to, like, I don't know.
It's kind of lazy. It's like they know something that only the audience should know.
Yeah.
Like, there's really no... I mean, what do they want to just give him a proper burial? They're like, you're not going to get
burn
his
him.
body.
They would burn him.
Right, yeah.
And that's what the Night's Watch would do. So, I don't... Maybe they want to... I don't know, maybe...
All right, moving on to Ramsay. We got our first look at the Bolton-controlled Winterfell. Ramsay is reminiscing over this girl that he loved, and then he decides to just feed her to the wolves.
Just shows how sick he is.
That's a great Ramsay moment. And then we get his father trolling him once again about the impending birth of his child, that it could be a male.
Yeah.
I think this is setting up tension between Ramsay and his father. If you look at the first trailer, there's the guy who's being flayed. It looks like it could be his father, that eventually Ramsay will kill his father to gain control of the North.
I don't know. He's always trying to, like, impress his father. I don't know. That's a good prediction, but...
Ramsay, do you think he loves his father, really?
I think he just wants to, like, impress him, but I don't think, when it comes down to it, I don't think, like...
Like, eventually he'll snap?
Yeah, it's just, like, all of his life he's been trying to, like, hey, look, Dad, look at me.
I'm a Bolton, right?
Like a little kid, like, it's like a cat, like, when he brings you, like, a dead bird, it's like, hey, look what I got you, Dad. But he does that with, like, flayed skin. It's like, Dad, look what I got. Look.
Look, I got you a reek.
Fucking sicko.
But then he loses control of Reek and Sansa. Obviously, they survived. I guess they're just not going to explain how they did it. Once again, Sansa almost seems like the victim. Brienne came out of nowhere and saved them. Brienne's good, man. She's
very good at showing up randomly in
right
plots.
when the plot needs her. Brienne will show up. Very convenient for the characters. And she finally saved the life of a Stark.
Oh, yeah, she's been doing very bad at that also.
Oh, look at her. And Podrick? When did he go to Syrio Forel's sword school?
Well, I guess she's Brienne. Maybe Brienne, like, taught him that whole season. They were just hanging out, watching a light.
That's what they were, like a little 80s montage.
Yeah.
Of them in the light tower. Think I'll go for a walk outside now.
And he's just practicing his sword.
That's got spin-off potential. But once again, like when Brienne is going into the service of Sansa and Sansa is giving her the words, you know, that whole ceremony.
Yeah.
Like Podrick even had to help remind her of the words.
Yeah.
Like, how old is Sansa at this point? Like, she's not a kid anymore. And the whole part where she's like, oh, I don't want to go through the lake, I'll freeze to death. Oh, okay, we'll just walk across.
What about Theon's brilliant plan?
Oh, the whole distraction
thing?
Like,
stay here. They were literally right behind them.
You stay here. I'm going to walk about 30 feet this way, and I'll distract them.
Theon, I was like, no, it's going to work. Trust me.
Theon, I think they have dogs. I think they'll smell. Listen, okay?
Theon, you smell like shit. It's like they can obviously pick up your scent.
Theon's doing magic tricks. It's like putting his hands behind his head with the locked hands. Yeah, and then after that...
Brienne's a savage, though, and she fucking just slit that dude's throat.
That was a great scene. Yeah. I love Brienne as a fighter. I just wish they would handle her character with more...
They don't know, like... I guess she'll be with Sansa and, like, take her maybe to the Riverlands.
This is building up, I think, to a Jaime and Brienne confrontation, where they're on opposite sides of possibly the Lannisters versus Starks 2.0. Yeah. And then Brienne's going to be like, of course, Brienne's going to get cold feet because she loves Jaime. Then going on to Jaime comes back to King's Landing with a dead Marcella. But even more importantly, where's Bronn?
Oh, well, I guess he's on the boat.
Was he? I mean, they don't even... I mean, I was more concerned about Bronn coming back from King's Landing.
I mean, they don't really need to show him now. I mean...
Is he going to be cut out of Season 6?
They'll find a way for him to get his corpse in.
Yeah.
His little snaps.
He really should go to Essos. Get a nice reunion with
Yeah, I mean, I do love the show, but one thing I really hate is the way they handle Dorne. The Sand Snakes are so much cooler, like in the books. They just kind of just threw him out there as he's like, oh, we don't follow your rules. We're going to go to war. Like, look at us. Like,
right. They're supposed to be like a very progressive nation, like contrasting King's Landing. I mean, that was kind of obvious, that whole assassination. Like that, if anybody was caught off guard by that assassination.
Well, I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think they were going to kill him. I thought.
Well, once the note came.
Yeah, once they're like.
I always like that about Dorne, how they're like when Oberyn tells Cersei, you know, we don't hurt little girls in Dorne. Dorne sucks. I really wish they would cut off that whole storyline.
It is in the books. It is a really interesting and crucial storyline.
It's boring in the show.
I don't care for Dorne. I mean, in the show. I mean, Doran Myrtle, like, he's a good character, but they just gave him, like, 3 episodes, basically.
Yeah.
Chastain, they just was useless.
His big bodyguard. I'm like, oh, the big bodyguard's back. He's going to do something this season.
He's a great character. He's a fucking badass.
Stabbed in the back. But going back to Cersei, when she realizes that Marcella was dead.
Hold on, real quick. You think they're going to pin Marcella on... Well, no, they can't. I was thinking maybe they'll pin Marcella, like they killed Doran, and maybe they'll be like, oh, well, they'll pin it on Doran and Chastain.
No, I think the Sand Snakes want war. Yeah. What's her name, Elia? Yeah.
But the other two are in King's Landing with Chastain.
Well, they're on their way back. they showed the boat leaving King's Landing.
Wasn't Tristan supposed to stay in King's Landing?
He was, because that was before Marcella died. But I think they had a shot in the show where it shows the boat leaving King's Landing, with Tristan going back to Dorne.
Why would they let them go back after they?
I guess Jaime felt sympathetic for him, like he was like, listen, go back to Dorne.
But with the Sand Snakes, like, you obviously were part of it, so that doesn't make sense. No, it
doesn't make sense. It was kind of just.
Maybe next.
They were on their way back to Dorne. That was the way the ship was facing, because he was supposed to have a seat on the small council. Going to Cersei when she figures out that Marcella was killed, I think that was a great scene, the way she's talking about how I can produce something so good that maybe I'm not a monster. I thought that was a great look into Cersei's, mental
I feel bad
psyche.
for her now.
Yeah, and she talks about the prophecy that the witch made.
Yeah.
That all your kids are going to die before you do.
Yeah.
And I love the line with Jaime's like, fuck prophecy, fuck fate, it's us against the world.
Yeah.
They've turned... It looks like Jaime might be reverting back to his season 1 Jaime.
Yeah, but in a sense, he always was Jaime.
Right.
Like, he's always been he's always been for the Lannisters. Like,
yeah, of course.
But you just get a different look at him in the other seasons. Like,
whenever he's with Cersei, he tends to make bad decisions, it seems like.
Yeah.
They are not a good pairing together. Okay, let's go to Essos. Tyrion and Varys, they're walking, talking. They do a little walking and talking. Talking and walking.
And
they fucking scare the shit out of that homeless lady. He needs to work on his Valyrian, because it's stiff,
At this point, it's just hurting him.
Yeah, I mean, just keep to English, bro.
It's not
common tongue.
Yeah, it's just can't go around talking about eating babies and suspect people to follow you, man.
So Varys and Tyrion, it looks like they're trying to find the leader of the Sons of Harpy, which I never even thought of, that they obviously would have a leader. Also, it looks like the Lord of Light clergy is preaching against Daenerys now. You saw that red priest that held that meeting.
Yeah.
So it looks like they could have two enemies. I hope Meereen is not boring. They need something to spice up Meereen.
Yeah.
And the whole thing when the ships were on fire and he's like, well, looks like we're not going to Westeros anytime soon. It's like, well, I guess we're stuck in Meereen for a season. Another season. I
think it's going to be more of the same. Just trying to find a Harpy. Like, they need filler. Like, what's Tyrion going to do in Meereen? What could he possibly be doing? They need something to fill his season, so I think that's just going to be...
See, if you go back to season 2 when he was ruling King's Landing, I mean, there was great drama with the way
that was like, no one gives a shit about Meereen. I don't give a fuck. Go back to Westeros. That's what we wanted you to do since the Dragon's Hatch in season 1.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't care how he rules Meereen. We cared about King's Landing because that was the main focal point of the fucking show, the Iron Throne.
Right.
So
I mean, even when Tyrion first meets Daenerys and he's like, maybe we should just stay here. This is maybe your destiny. And Daenerys is like, so I think the Westeros storyline is just never going to happen. We get our first look of Arya as Daredevil.
Yeah. Not a very good Daredevil.
No. I guess that's why, in terms of the directing, that's what they were going for, that she hears all these different conversations that were going on.
Okay.
And then she gets fucking smacked in the jaw by, what's her name? Waif? Or something like that?
Well, I mean...
I hear that she's like a 36-year-old woman, but she's trapped in a kid's body because of some poison that her mom gave her.
I thought you meant like...
Come on.
No,
Is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah. I fucking hate Bravos. I hate Meereen, I hate Bravos, I hate Dorne. Can we get rid of these stories?
But Bravos is so sick in the books. They just...
Yeah, but all they do is show the fucking shitty fucking beggars in Bravos. They don't even... Bravos is supposed to be the most technologically advanced city in the show. And all they show is the many-faced assassins and the slums. You think she's going to get out of Bravos?
Yeah.
This season?
Probably at the end.
So that's really... I mean, we didn't get any Bran in this episode. We didn't get any Littlefinger. I think those were the two biggest omissions that really stood out to me. It looks like we're going to get Bran next episode. They show the next week on Game of Thrones. He had the war guys.
By the way, does any show have a longer previously on Game of Thrones than Game of Thrones?
They like broke down every fucking episode on the whole fucking show. Previously,
I like
Game of Thrones.
I mean, I've seen every episode like 2 or 3 times, so I do remember a lot. I still like miss the little things, like oh yeah, it's okay.
Right.
Like I had a hard time remembering, like I can't even remember it right now.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's tough.
I can't remember things anymore. I forget things like
old age, man. How old are you?
The audience doesn't need to know that.
What are you, Mr. fucking Privacy? Middle-aged woman won't give out your age. Yeah, I mean, it's the previously is like.
I like it. I mean, so I think it's setting up. I think, even like going forward, Bruce Bolton said something along the lines of like, the Lannisters are mad that because he wedded Sansa to Ramsay, like he won against the throne. So that could set up maybe wildlings from the north, Lannisters from the south. Bolton sandwich.
Oh, a Bolton sandwich.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
That'd probably be disgusting.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
Raw,
a lot of meat, though, with his wife. Yeah. It's a big girl.
Big Mama Dookie.
Well, the Lannisters, I mean, if the Lannisters also have to deal with the Boltons, that's going to be 3 enemies that they're facing in this one season. 4, maybe. Boltons, Dornish, the Riverlands, and the Sparrows.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about Marjorie. Well, there wasn't really much going on there. It looks like she's eventually going to confess.
Oh, yeah, that's what I had trouble remembering. What'd she get arrested for again?
For covering up Loras' being gay.
Okay.
During that whole trial that she...
Oh, she lied to them, right?
Yeah, she lied to them about never seeing him with another man.
Okay.
And then that guy came in and said he has a birthmark on his ass. That's funny.